the mid-market, startups, nonprofits, municipalities, state, local government, they need help in building the program to then set the direction for the people, process, and technology. Hey folks, welcome back. Brian Hoagley. Welcome back to cisolife, brought to you by SideChannel. So, great stuff going on in the world. Not so great stuff. I think a lot of it comes back to how you look at risk. I say this a lot, but how you look at risk, how you address risk, how we are identifying and actually managing risk, I believe comes down to the type of a program that you have built, right? Going and buying the shiny widget, going after the technology first, it doesn't work, right? People, process, and technology. I think technology is always third in that list for a reason. I don't think we get enough credit. So how do we focus on what technology to get to, what people to put in place, what processes to build? We need a program, okay? And how you build a program is going to set apart what decisions you make first, second, third, how you make those decisions, who's involved in those decisions. And I don't think enough people are putting it together the program first before actually getting to those next operational and tactical things. So look, I've never been one to sit here and just promote SideChannel, but remember, I built this company for a reason. The mid-market, startups, nonprofits, municipalities, state, local government, they need help in building the program to then set the direction for the people, process, and technology. So what I want to do is just kind of go through, well, what's our approach? Really, what is the approach of a CISO? What is the approach of building a security team? What's required? What's involved, right? You're going to need cyber, you're going to need IT, you're going to need privacy, all kind of roped into one direction, right? Underneath some type of leadership. You're going to need to look at compliance readiness. You're going to have to potentially look at certification level, right? You're going to have to then go explore managed services, cloud security, product security, testing, consulting. Like, you're going to have a lot of things that need to go in. Building the program helps you set that direction on what to go do first, second, and third. And the reason you want to be able to go build a program, right, is not just for the sake of a program. No CISO comes in and is like, I just want to do this because, it's for me. No. The business, right, it's a business objective. Remember that. Everything is for the business. And you want to help them grow revenues. You want to help them spend appropriately, right, wisely. And you want to be able to make sure that you can hit clients' objectives, whatever they are, very quickly. These are three major objectives as to or outcomes that are positive on why you build a program, right? Now, compliance isn't security. I get that. I'll be the first one to say it. But compliance isn't just, a regulation said this. Compliance could be the board's asking about what your security posture is. You need to be compliant with what their asks are. You have a customer that is asking, right? You do have some type of regulation, right? Now, just because compliance isn't security doesn't mean you don't have to be compliant, right? If you have these things asking about your security posture or demanding to meet a security posture, well, if you want to stay in business, you better start figuring out how to address it. How do you articulate these things? How do you control the narrative? And that's very, very important. So building a program, an actual information security program, is what's going to support all of these things, okay? And the question is going to be, how do you build? What does that program look like? What does it require? Well, at some point, you're probably going to need someone who understands information security. Now, I'm a little biased, but I believe that person comes from this cloth. They have been a CISO. They understand what's required at the top, right? In an executive ranks, within governance, within compliance, understanding what customers are asking about. Someone has been at the helm before and can now do it for you. I think that's incredibly important. I'm not dismissing very smart people who have come up through the ranks, who have been directors, who have been managers, who have been analysts, who have been pen testers. I've been all of that. I did all of that before I became a CISO, right? I had the building blocks that were important to then take on this role when I did. But if you're looking to shortcut getting this person to build these things, to meet these objectives to help support the business. Do you want to wait until the analyst on your team is ready for that role? Is your director of IT actually going to put on the second hat, now transition over to that space? Did you just promote them out of IT and into security? Did the head of network engineering show promise in security and now you gave him the CISO title? How far is that going to go? In my experience, it doesn't go very far, right? Especially when you're in the mid-market, your startups. That approach does not pay off. This role can stand to be from someone who has actually done it before. Experience matters. Let me say that again. Experience matters. What is it we're looking at, right, when we build a program, right? How do we engage, okay? Engagement is very, very important, right? First, right, we're identifying assets, okay? Right? CIS, right? 1 and 2. We'll hit you up right here, okay? We're identifying assets. What is business critical? What are the crown jewels, right? What are we trying to protect, okay? So by assessing and identify assets, right, then from there, we can do our recommendations. Start building our recommendations on what to do about those assets, right? Determine the risks to these assets. Determine risks to the supply chain of those assets. See, there's a lot going on here. Experience is what's going to dictate how quickly this works, how effectively this works, right? And again, it comes from somebody who knows. We identify the likelihood, severity, impact, the key scenarios that could play out on these assets. Those all fall into the recommendations. Out of that, right, we're now building an agenda. Here you might even say, within the NIST parlance, this is your current state. Now we're starting to build our target state. For all my NIST friends out there. That agenda should start having some tactical wins. Some quick wins, right? Low-hanging fruit, okay? Operational improvements. Start giving strategic direction. Okay? This is the beginning of your roadmap, okay? This is what starts weaving into, right, your 30, 60, right, 90, 180 planning, okay? This is your roadmap. Someone needs to be at the helm. They need to be shepherding this for you, okay? Now you've got a roadmap. Well, great. You've got a deliverable. Usually looks like a piece of paper. Now what? Now you need to execute on it, okay? You start actually putting your initial deliverables together. You need to develop your information security policy, establish a governance program, monitor for exceptions. You start monitoring for what's going on these assets, right? It all kind of comes back, right? This is all building the information security program. Do you see? I didn't buy any technology yet, right? People are skipping all of these steps and jumping to product. But building and buying product is down here, okay? And not down here underneath the business sense, okay? Down here under what am I actually doing? This is building your program. Once you establish the CISO at the helm now, this governance, monitoring, right? You're doing regularly check-ins. You're guiding this roadmap. You're executing on this roadmap. You're basically project managing what came out of your roadmap in your 30, 60, 90 to completion. You need to be able to track that somehow. We are doing this for the business. Why does information security work as a business enabler? Right? We're helping them grow revenue. We're helping them spend wisely. We're hitting compliance objectives across board of directors, customers, regulatory asks. That is all because of an information security program led by someone, ideally someone experienced in the role. That program is built around identifying your assets, what's critical to the business, right? Building recommendations off of that current state that drives an agenda of tactical wins, operational improvements, and then the eventual strategic direction for the organization to take. That shows itself inside of a roadmap. That roadmap is your document that your CISO is now going to be able to drive and deliver across governance, policy, and monitoring.